Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we're discussing Isopanishad, and today we're going to discuss about the verse 6. So let's glorify the most glorious Acharya. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayat Nashtaprayesu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamo Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nastike. Reading from Isopanishad, verse 6. So already we have covered verse 1 to 5 the last few days. So let's go to the sloka now. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani evanupashyati sarvabhutesu cha atmanam tato na vichugupashyate. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani evanupashyate sarvabhutesu cha atmanam tato na vichugupashyate. Word by word meaning. Yah, he, who, tu, but, sarvani, all, bhutani, living entities, atmani, in relation to the Supreme Lord, eva, only, anupashyati, observes in a systematic way, sarva bhuteshu, in every living being, cha, and atmana, the super soul, tataha, thereafter, na, not, bijugupashate, hates anyone. Translation and purport by His Divine Guest Srila Prabhupada. Translation. He who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being. Purport by His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is a description of the Mahabhagavata, the great personality who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord's presence is realized in 3 stages. The Kanishtadhikari is in the lowest stage of realization. He goes to a place of worship, such as a temple, church, or mosque, according to his religious faith, and worships there according to scriptural injunctions. Devotees in this stage consider the Lord to be present at the place of worship and nowhere else. They cannot ascertain who is in what position in devotional service, nor can they tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. Such devotees follow the routine formulas and sometimes quarrel among themselves, considering one type of devotion is better than the another. These Kanishta Adhikaris are actually materialistic devotees who are simply trying to transcend the material boundary to reach the spiritual plane. Those who have attained the second stage of realization are called Madhyama Adhikaris. These devotees observe the distinction between 4 categories of being the Supreme Lord, the devotees of the Lord, the innocent, who have no knowledge of the Lord, and the atheists, who have no faith in the Lord and hate those in devotional service. Prabhu and Mataji, you can hear me, right?
Can hear? Yes, we can hear you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, it's very clear.
The Madhyama Adhikari behaves differently toward these 4 classes of person. He adores the Lord, considering him the object of love. He makes friends with those who are in devotional service. He tries to awaken the dormant love of God in the hearts of the innocent, and he avoids the atheists who deride the very name of the Lord. Above the Madhyama Adhikari is the Uttama Adhikari, who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee does not discriminate between an atheist and a theist, but sees everyone as part and parcel of God. He knows that there is no essential difference between a vastly learned Brahmana and a dog in the street, because both of them are part and parcel of the Lord, although they are encased in different bodies on account of the different qualities of their activities. In their previous life, he sees that the Brahmana particle of the Supreme Lord has not misused his little independence given by him by the Lord, and that the dog particle has misused its independence and is therefore being punished by the laws of nature by being encased in the form of a dog. Not considering the respective actions of the Brahmana and the dog, the Uttamadhikari tries to do good to both. Such a learned devotee is not misled by material bodies, but is attracted by the spiritual spark within them. Those who imitate an Uttama Adhikari by flaunting a sense of oneness or fellowship, but who behave on the bodily platform, are actually false philanthropists. The conception of universal brotherhood must be learned from an Uttama Adhikari and not from a foolish person who does not properly understand the individual soul or the Supreme Lord's supersoul expansion who dwells everywhere. It is clearly mentioned in the sixth mantra that one should observe or systematically see. This means that one must follow the previous acharyas, the perfected teachers. Anupasyati is the exact Sanskrit word used in this connection. Anu means to follow, and pasyati means to observe. Thus, the word anupasyati means that one should not see things as it does with the naked eye, but should follow the previous acharyas. Due to material defects, the naked eye cannot see anything properly. One cannot see properly unless one has heard from a superior source. And the highest source is the Vedic wisdom, which is spoken by the Lord himself. Vedic truths are coming in disciplic succession from Lord to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa, and from Vyasadeva to many disciples. Formerly, there was no need to record the messages of the Vedas because people in earlier ages were more intelligent and had sharper memories. They could follow the instructions simply by hearing once from the mouth of a bona fide spiritual master. At present, there are many commentaries on the revealed scriptures, but most of them are not in the line of disciplic succession coming from Vyasadeva, who originally compiled the Vedic wisdom. The final, most perfect and sublime work by Srila Vyasadeva is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. There is also the Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by the Lord himself and recorded by Vyasadeva. There are the most important revealed scriptures, and any commentary that contradicts the principle of the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam is unauthorized. There is complete agreement among the Upanishad, Vedanta Sutra, Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam, and no one should try to reach any conclusion about the Vedas without receiving instructions from the members of Vyasadev's disciplic succession, who believe in the personality of Godhead and his diverse energies as that explained in Sri Isopanishad. According to Bhagavad Gita 18.54, only one who is already on the liberated platform or Brahmabhuta stage can become an Uttama Adhikari devotee and see every living being as his own brother. This vision cannot be had by politicians who are always after some material gain. One who imitates the symptoms of an Uttama Adhikari may serve another's outward body for the purpose of fame or material reward, but he does not serve the spirit soul. Such an imitator can have no information of the spiritual world. The Uttama Adhikari sees the spirit soul within the material body and serves him as spirit. Thus, the material aspect is automatically served. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakrunittam Vinna Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopyakanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्प तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद लीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Dear devotees, thank you for joining today for the Isopanishad class, and we are assembled here to glorify the beautiful subject matter of Isopanishad, and this particular subject matter of the little differentiation between the devotees or the category of devotees is mentioned also in Srimad Bhagavatam in 11th canto. Also, it is described also by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So here in this particular verse, basically it is said that how one should transcend from a neophyte stage to an intermediate stage, and later on at the end, he would aspire to go to aspire to become a very good devotee or an advanced devotee or a uttama adhikari, and what is required from them. Basically, at the uttama adhikari or a true or a good devotee level or a advanced devotee level, what happens? The person basically sees clearly everything. He sees that each and everything, whatever is either a matter or a spirit, everything has a relationship with Supreme Lord Krishna. If it is a matter, if it is a dull matter, basically it's the material nature, and it is also an energy of Lord. Basically, it's a lower energy of Lord. Then when it is a spirit soul, it is also energy of Lord. It is basically marginal energy of Lord. We have Lord who is the energetic, and everything basically is energy. So he sees everything, whatever is happening, everything is happening as per the Lord's will, and whatever is all around, either it is a spiritual energy or it's a material energy. That's how basically he envisions everything. That's why he doesn't disrespect anything. He doesn't hate anything. All the anarthas what is within our heart basically is not slowly it disappears when one tries to see everything clearly in relationship with Supreme Lord. And he sees that everything has a relationship with Lord, and Supreme Lord is within everything, and he is also outside. Basically, whatever he sees, everywhere he sees that there is Lord's presence is there. So since he is building up a relationship with everything, because Lord himself has a relationship, he cannot hate anybody, or neither he has any kind of hard feeling towards anything. So with this beautiful thought, we'll go deep into this verse. So my realizations, my knowledge in this like subject matter, in basically this is Srila Prabhupada has presented in a very technical way. Basically, he is putting 1, 2, 3 point kind of thing. He's describing it. My knowledge is pretty limited, but with everybody's blessing, I would like to glorify the subject matter for my own purification. So here we see that everybody has a right to become like spiritually advanced. So everybody basically, why everybody has a right? Because everybody has part and parcel of God. So everybody like everybody has a relationship with God. So that's why to honor that relationship, so one has to establish a relation with Lord. So how that will come? So that will come based on our Shraddha level. So in this way, they in this Isopanishad, basically the devotees are categorized in 3 ways. The one is basically here Kanishta Adhikari, then next one is the Madhyama Adhikari, then next one is the Uttama Adhikari. And here the verse says that a liberated self, basically he sees Krishna everywhere. That is basically is expected. Because when anything is there, right? Any level is there. Always everybody wants to go in the ladder to the top. So at the top level, a liberated soul or an advanced devotee who sees Krishna everywhere. So the verse says, first line says that Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atmani Evanu Pasyati. That means a person who sees everything in relation to Supreme Lord and all living entities, it is parts and parcels. The next line says Sarva Bhutesu Cha Atmanam, who sees the Supreme Lord within everything. Then finally, the last line is Totona Bijugu Pashyate. That means he never hates anything or any being. So in this purport, Prabhupada has described there are 3 categories are there. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, in 11th canto also, very clearly also it is discussed that there are 3 categories, 3 levels of devotees. Like when somebody is coming to freshly he's introduced to Krishna consciousness. He comes to temple, he's at the Kanishta Adhikari level, the neophyte. The Shraddha is very little Shraddha in that. But he knows that, yes, he is Krishna, and here is Radharani, here is Janat Bala Subhadra, and here is Gaurnitari. His faith is that level, yes, this is Krishna and this is me, and my relation with Krishna is direct relationship. Then next one is the Madhyama Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari, basically in that level, he has written little Shastra, he has some Sadhu Sangha, he has done some analysis, and he is following certain principles. So he's in the intermediate stage. Basically, they're the mature devotees. Then the last one is the Uttama Adhikari. Uttama Adhikari, basically, they are the pure and advanced devotees. So in the pure and advanced devotees, like what is the difference? In the neophyte devotee, basically, he thinks that, yes, here is the deities, and that is, and here actually Krishna exists. He doesn't realize that Krishna is existing in each living being, or either even every non-living being also, Krishna is also there. He doesn't realize that. Then in Madhyama Adhikari level, how he realizes it? He realizes based on the relationship. Like these are the relationship. These are the Krishna's devotees. These are the Krishna's books. That way he understands Krishna's relationship. Then the Uttama Adhikari. Uttama Adhikari is the advanced stage. They basically see everywhere Krishna. They see any dull matter they see that, yes, Krishna's presence is there. That's why now we see that, like when electricity is on in our house, fan is running or water is running, we tell that, yes, stop the water tap. Basically in Bhagavad Gita also it is said that I am the taste of the water. Don't waste water, because anyway water is Krishna's energy. Water, they say water is our life. Without water we cannot do anything. So Krishna is supplying that energy. So in Uttama Adhikari takes care of that. And then similarly that's electricity. So we try to, anything Krishna's energy, we try to save it. So Uttama Adhikari, basically he sees everything. Yes, everywhere basically he sees Krishna. So that way he is a Uttama Adhikari. So let's go a little bit deep into each of the ones. So this Uttama, let's go first into the Kanishta Adhikari. The Kanishta Adhikari, basically they are new to the Krishna consciousness, so new to the any movement and new to the bhakti. They're in the beginning stage. Here in the purport, Prabhupada has described them as Prakrita Bhakta. So I got this definition of this Kanishta Adhikari from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11 Canto, 2nd chapter, 47 verse. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described that a devotee who faithfully engages in the worship of the deity in the temple, but does not behave properly towards other devotees or people in general, is called a Prakrita Bhakta, a materialistic devotee, and is considered to be in the lowest position. So why it is considered the lowest position? Because the devotee is new. When he comes to the temple, we might have seen like when any festival day, so many new devotees come to temple. So they don't have any relationship with anything. They just come inside and they look around here and there. They pay obeisances. Sometimes some of them also don't pay obeisances and they move. There will be so many books will be there. So many devotees will be approaching them. They don't have to do anything with that. They think that the deity form on the altar is the real form and the deity exists over there. Sometimes, you approach them and tell them, can you chant 1 round, 2 round, like that. You approach them and they will tell, yes, I know. And, they will respond back to you. In month of Kartik, if you chant, like they know everything. Sometimes they know everything, but they don't practice it. They're hesitant to practice it. The Shraddha is very limited level. And they focus on mostly on ritual. And sometimes, they focus mostly on the rituals like that. And they don't want to build a relationship between the devotees. They don't go for the association. So Srila Madhavacharya very beautifully describes about this about this in a Western setup. In Western country setup, how it was like, people generally on Sundays we see they go to church and they actually ask forgiveness. They do. Madhavacharya has written that they commit all kind of sinful activities in their homes and outside on the road, but very piously on a Sunday morning they will go to the church and ask Lord that, oh Lord, please give us mercy. So they don't realize, same person doesn't realize that the God is not only in the church or mosque or in a temple. The God is everywhere. God is in front of you. God is inside the tree. Like we see in the Prahlad and Narsimdev, in the past time, Narsimha Bhagavan is coming out of a pillar. So the same person who is committing a sin outside, thinking that, oh, nobody is seeing me, should realize that, yes, Lord is constantly saying him. In fact, Lord is within the person who is committing sin, within his heart, and seeing that what the person is doing. So this is basically, we can consider that in the neophyte stage. Then it is described that this Kanishta Adhikari is called Prakrita Bhakta. What do we mean by Prakrita Bhakta? Prakrita Bhakta means Prakrita is the word which is coming from the What Prakriti? Prakriti means the material nature. So these neophyte devotees are like that little bit, they have definitely they know who is Krishna and they have some kind of inclination towards Krishna, but they're mostly associated with the matter. They're basically materialistic. They sometimes come in that like give me this benefit, that material benefit, and I'll give you 2 coconut, I'll give you 5 khaja, I'll come to temple 5 times and I will chant 2 rounds, I'll do 2 parikrama. Like that, there is a give and take relationship between the matter and the gain. There sometimes we see the devotees come to our temple, that yes, I should get my green card and I should get my citizenship. Once they get green card, we don't see them anywhere, and sometimes we don't see them. So that time they are actually that faith and the relationship is not there. When a person is staying confidently or permanently somewhere, that means that he has basically developed a relationship with the other person or in a surrounding. So when the relationship is not there, that time the relationship with Krishna is not established, that time the person is basically having a relationship only with the matter. So that's why they are called Prakruta Bhakta. So what do the Prakruta Bhakta do? There are four types are mentioned, 4 actually activities are mentioned in this purport. Basically, they do the archana, they worship the deity at the temple or inside their house in a homely setup. There will be altar. They will basically worship over there. They think that yes, the deities are only existing here. Sometimes, they, since their faith is very low and the scriptural reference is not there, they sometimes, they basically challenge. They quarrel a lot. Otherwise, you can say. Sometimes we see that in the neophyte stage, the devotees, like they tend to compare. Yes, this temple deity's outfit is better than the other temple's deity's outfit. Sunday feast, this Sunday feast team is cooking better prasadam than the other Sunday feast team. Ideally, if we see that everything is prasadam, everything Krishna has honored, and whatever are offering to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. So basically, without any baseless, they will quarrel a lot. They'll try to impose that one thing is the better than the other thing. Then their association with the devotees is very less. Since the association with the devotees is very less, the natural transition from Kanishta to Madhyama to Uttama generally sometimes it takes time. Once devotees, once other devotees come and by Krishna's mercy, if they get association with the devotees, what happens? Then they slowly their faith towards Krishna increases, and slowly this anarthas goes out of from their mind. And we saw that earlier that they're in the materialistic state. So regarding this often quarrelsome thing, and just wanted to share this. Like when the neophyte stage, right? The hatred and love both are in their heart. So everybody has some amount of love. So they have some inclination towards love, but side by side, they have these anarthas are there. So in Bhagavatam, there are some certain verses are there in 11th canto, 12th canto. It says that when a devotee, basically he holds Krishna's lotus feet, what happens? Slowly, all the anarthas, basically it goes out from their heart. And when the anarthas are going out from the heart, the hatred, jealousy, everything is going out from the heart, then what happens? Krishna will come and reside in your heart, and you will see Krishna's lotus feet very clearly. So that's why the neophyte stage, since the hatred is there in the heart is not completely pure. That's why the neophyte devotee or the Kanishta Adhikari cannot appreciate Krishna fully. So we see that in contrary, we see in Prahlad Maharaj's example. In Prahlad Maharaj's example, we see that Hiranyakashipu has tortured Prahlad Maharaj like anything. He has beaten him, he has put him into the snake, he has put him inside the fire, he has thrown him out from the mountain. What not he has done as a father? Basically, he has done so much heinous activity on Prahlad Maharaj. Basically, his own son, one son, and he wanted to kill Prahlad Maharaj. But Prahlad Maharaj's heart, he doesn't have any anarthas. His heart is very clear, crystal clear heart. His heart is very soft. He has never had any kind of hatred towards Hiranyakashipu. In fact, when Nrsimha Bhagavan has killed Hiranyakashipu and he asking Prahlad Maharaj, you ask any boon, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, please forgive my father and liberate him. So we see that how, in contrary, how a devotee should aspire his heart to be. His heart should be basically spotless and there should not be any hatred. is in the purport in the beginning here, in the translation, we see that basically this is the definition of the Uttam Adhikari. It says that he sees the Supreme Lord within everything and never hates anything or any being. So now we can understand here in more clearly how a person's relationship with the matter and the Krishna, and how a person advances. When a person is too much materialistically attached, materialist person, or too much attached to the matter, what happens is that he is too much attached to the matter, and he doesn't have any faith in Krishna, and basically he is detached in Krishna. Then there are Mayavadi person devotees are there. Mayavadi devotees, they are not associated with Krishna. They say that Krishna is formless. And side by side, since they are also detached from matter. Then there comes the third category. Third category is the Sahaja category. They have basically some inclination to Krishna, and side by side, they are also associated with the matter. They want to enjoy the material life. And side by side also, they also know, yes, Krishna is God and I should also worship Krishna. So they are also a little bit attached to Krishna. The next category is the devotee category. In the devotee category, basically, they are detached from matter, but they're attached to Krishna. So this detached from matter means that though they are detached from matter, like they are not like fully inclined to the material life and everything. So what they do, they utilize, in fact, all the material benefits in Krishna's service. We see that Srila Prabhupada, that time, he was using typewriter. He is going in airlines. So sometimes, journalists ask him, is that you are a sannyasi and why are you using this? Srila Prabhupada very beautifully says that we are energizing, Krishna is basically we are energizing these items to Krishna's energy. Basically, we are Krishnizing them. Basically, I am using this typewriter and to print my Srimad Bhagavatam, and I am basically traveling in airlines so that I can go and preach in a different country where I cannot go quickly. So basically, this is a concept of the Yukta Vairagya. Everything basically, though he is detached from the matter, but he is basically utilizing that matter in Krishna's service so that his preaching mission is successful. The next is from the Kanishta Adhikari, the devotee basically, he transitions to the Madhyama Adhikari. So Madhyama Adhikari, in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, 2nd chapter, it is described that an intermediate or second class devotee called Madhyama Adhikari offers his love to Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a sincere friend to all the devotees. He shows mercy to the ignorant people who are innocent and disregards those who are envious to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Basically, there are 4 things are mentioned here. And the difference between the Kanishta Adhikari and the Madhyama Adhikari is, at the Madhyama Adhikari level, he basically sees Lord as a relationship. And he can distinguish, this is a devotee, this is a non-devotee, this is Lord, and this person is atheist. And accordingly, he behaves differently based on the different relationship. So for Supreme Lord or in advanced devotees, the relationship is based on the prema or the love. And then for the devotees of the Lord, he basically likes to do association. We know that Lava Matra Sadhusanga Sarvasiddhi Hoy. So basically, with the devotees of the Lord, he has a friendly relationship. The Maitri is established over there. Then there are innocent people, like who have like childlike innocence, and some of them have no knowledge of the Lord. That time, this Madhyama Adhikari, he thinks he is very basically merciful. He thinks that these devotees should come close to Krishna. The way I am enjoying Krishna conscious life, they should also enjoy. So he becomes merciful, and out of his krupa, he basically tries to preach them. He tries to give books to them. He tries to give prasad to them. Like in our temple, we see like we do book distribution. And we distribute prasadam because prasad is non-different from Krishna, and the Prabhupada books of whatever Prabhupada written or Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, basically they are Krishna's. Basically they're Krishna himself. So we try to give the best thing to them out of the mercy. Then the last one is the upekkha, to whom we should neglect or we should do upekkha. Basically, there are certain atheists are there who have no faith in Lord, and sometimes they hate Krishna and the Krishna's devotees. So I have to be very, very careful on them. So there it is written here that those who are envious to Supreme Personality of Godhead, we try to disregard them or neglect them. So why to neglect this kind of faithless people? We should neglect this kind of faithless people because sometimes, this kind of devotees, these kind of persons, they have so much hatred towards Krishna. So when we try to tell something good about Krishna, the anger basically increases. So out of anger, basically he blasphemes more and more. So when they blaspheme more and more, they in fact commit more offenses. So for them, coming close to Krishna also becomes more and more difficult. So we see that in recently we had this 10 offenses we discussed. The first offense we see that blaspheming about the devotees also is not considered good. And then we see also at the ninth one also we see about talking to the faithless people. These are the two offenses. So as a devotee, we should also avoid them. So a Madhyam Adhikari basically to the faithless people, his relation is as upeksha kind of thing. So slowly from the Kanishta Adhikari, with the association of Sadhu Sangha and books and following regulatory principles, one become Madhyam Adhikari. And in the Madhyam Adhikari stage, he has basically understood that my relationship with Krishna doesn't depend on Krishna alone. So basically, when you can see that if I have a friend, I will come to know, yes, this is my friend's mother, this is my friend's father, my friend's brother is doing this, friend's sister is doing that. So if I know entirely everything, I'll try to basically know entirely everything about my friend. So you can imagine, like when in India, when the marriage basically happens between the families. So when a daughter-in-law comes to the house, to his in-laws house, so it is expected that the daughter-in-law has a good relationship with the mother-in-law, father-in-law, or husband's brother, husband's sister, everybody. In fact, we cannot say that the bride cannot say that, no, I will have only my relationship with my bridegroom. A wife cannot say that, yes, I will have only relationship with my husband. The mother will be having some expectation, father will be having some expectation, and the husband also will think that, yes, he's my brother and he is my father, there is a relationship. So in order to have a successful family life, what the bride does, he establishes a relationship, he tries to understand the mother, he tries to understand the father, then they have a nice and happy family, everything goes out well. Similarly, in this Madhyam Adhikari stage, he has understood that his relationship with Krishna doesn't depend on Krishna alone. There are so many other factors are there. These books are there, these devotees are there, these devotees are very close to Krishna, they are advanced devotees, I must respect them. And any devotee we see that, they have some kind of relationship with Krishna, because we know that he knows that we all are part and parcel of Krishna. So basically at that level, since he understands that if he has to please Krishna, basically he will have to have a distant relationship with all around devotees who are associated with Krishna. Now, the line over here is about Upekya is that, like the atheists who have no faith in Lord and hate, in that case, basically the Madhyam Adhikari can understand it, and he basically does try to neglect it. So here our Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, he beautifully describes that in the month of autumn, sometimes we see that from the mountain, basically when the water falls, water basically comes out in the stream. It comes down in a stream. Sometimes to supply the clean water, it comes as a clean water, and sometimes it comes as a muddy water. And sometimes we see that the water stops. Water won't flow at all to down. Some rocks will be there, something will be there, it won't fall at all. It will come down to the valleys. So similarly, the saintly persons, they distribute clear knowledge. Sometimes looking at the audience, they speak differently, they speak truth, but they speak whatever is required to them. And sometimes they are silent. So this is because for the betterment of the devotees who are challenging. Then the next one is the Uttama Adhikari. In the Uttama Adhikari, basically definition goes, the most advanced devotees who sees within everything the soul of all souls, basically that is Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he sees everything in relation to Supreme Lord and understands that everything that exists eternally situated within the Lord. Now, basically, this is called the spiritual vision. What is the spiritual vision? Spiritual vision is basically everything is connected with Lord. Now, we see in Bhagavad Gita 5.18, it says that Vidya Vinaya Shampani Brahmane Gabhihastini Sunicheva Supakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Basically, here we see that a knowledge person or a humble says, by virtue of the true knowledge, he sees that everybody with the equal vision. He said that a learned person or a Brahmana or a cow or an elephant or a dog or a dog hater or an outcast, everybody are in the same. In the same means, like he sees that everybody are part and parcel of Krishna. Everybody has some relationship with Krishna. Due to Prabhupada very beautifully describes in the purport here, he sees that due to his karma or due to his prarabdha karma, basically today he is in a dog's body and now his other person is in a Brahmin's body, but everybody are basically same because they are all spiritual souls. So basically he has the spiritual vision and he has the understanding and he was his brotherhood. And why brotherhood? Because though they are materially, they are all are different. He understands that these are all spirit souls. They are all Krishna's part. So that way, basically, he sees that, and that is basically the equal vision. Equal vision doesn't mean that I am equal to you and you are equal to me. That is definitely not possible. A tiger cannot be an equal to a human being. That way, you can, Prabhupada gives always, like jokingly, he states that if everything is same, in that way that I can go and hug a tiger. After some time, the tiger is going to kill me. I won't exist over there. So that means that spiritual vision means that he sees everybody in the same platform. Means that all are spirit souls and all have equal right to practice Krishna consciousness or devotional service to come close to Krishna. So these basically the devotees, basically they are liberated souls and they are in the Brahmabhuta platform. And they are devoid of the 6 anarthas. Like we have these anarthas of lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, and illusion. So these Mahabhagavatas are the Uttama Adhikari. Basically, they are devoid of the 6 anarthas. So, but when you are in the Mahabhagavata stage, we cannot preach. It's very difficult to preach. In that state, basically, you see that everybody is same. Everybody you see, everywhere you see Krishna. So whom are you going to preach? So in order to preach, the Uttama Adhikari, basically, he comes down to the Madhyama Adhikari level and he tries to distribute Krishna's knowledge all around. Now, in the last 2 paragraphs, Prabhupada, basically, he is describing that spiritually everyone is equal and materially everyone is different. Like that he's trying to say is. Basically, he's trying to say about the oneness. What is the real oneness? Real oneness means no, we cannot say that everybody are equal. Yes, everybody are equal as a spirit soul because they are all have the similar potency. But materially, because of the bodily cover, they are different. Like we can take an example of a classroom. In a classroom, there could be 50 students will be there and a teacher will be teaching. Ideally, the teacher basically he gives equal knowledge to everybody. Teacher is not partial. Teacher gives equal knowledge, equal task to everybody. But we see that there's some student gets score high marks, some scores average mark, and some scores low mark. It's basically based on their knowledge, their caliber, and their different kind of atmosphere they have come from. So that way you see that, and everybody are different at the caliber level. Like we see that our Varnashram Dharma is based on Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. There are 4 distinctions are there. So somebody can say that yes, they are different. That way, they are different. But we see that spirit, that like at the end, they're all spirit souls. So that way, basically, one sees the oneness. How can one see the oneness? Here, Prabhupada gives 2 examples of how one can see the oneness. Just by saying that yes, all are same, we cannot feel that all are same. Prabhupada gives here a word called anupashyati. Anu means following. Like we say that anugami means basically he is following him. So anupashyati means the following previous acharyas or observe or systematically see. So basically in scripture, if we see that all the scriptures, whatever we have, like 108 Upanishads are there, Bhagavatam is there, and Bhagavad Gita is there, 18 Puranas are there, and then there are 4 Vedas are there. Everywhere, the different knowledge are there, knowledge base is there for different sets of people. But at the end, all the knowledge, the basic thing is that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we must try to become, follow devotional service so that we can get Krishna. So that is actually basically is mentioned. And anupashyati means whatever our fellow acharyas have told, whatever they have advised us, we should follow that. Sometimes we say that yes, whatever I am seeing, I'm going to believing it. But generally, what we see, sometimes it is not true. We cannot see things as we see in our naked eyes. but we should follow through our previous acharyas. We can give an example here that in a desert, basically, there will be a deer, there will be a camel will be there. All of a sudden, the camel will see that yes, there is a mirrors and there is water is there. So camel will run to that because yes, he has seen the water. He will go there and he will, by crossing in all around all the thorns and everything, and his leg will be piercing with the thorns, but at the end there is no water. So we should see that, we should see that, think that sometimes, seeing whatever is not believing. We need some background of the knowledge. Some knowledge should follow us. So that way we can see, we can actually, whatever we're seeing, we can believe it. We can believe it. For example, like we have so many graphs are there. Like we have this rainfall graph is there. Sometimes the economic graph is there. Sometimes, like this, if in a current year, the economy is going down, means the graph will be down, coming down. If we don't have a knowledge, if you give to a small kid, he will think that it's just a line, dropping line. And if you tell somebody else, he will think that, yeah, maybe it's a 45-degree angle line. But if you give a financial analyst, he will, looking at it, he can realize that, yes, this is a graph. It says that economy is not doing well. So basically this anupashyanti means that knowledge basically is following him to identify what it is clearly. Basically, you get instead of a blurred vision or imperfect vision, you get a clear vision. So that is the part of the anupashyati. Now, what we should follow? And from whom we should follow? We should follow basically the Vedic truth. The Vedic truth, which is coming from a disciplic succession. So we see that Supreme Personality of Godhead gave the knowledge to Brahma, Brahma gave to Narada Muni, and from Narada, basically in the disciplic succession, it has come. Now, when the person is liberated, or when he sees everything clearly, or he is a Brahmabhuta platform, his vision is very beneficial. His vision is basically is good for everybody. And there are so many philanthropists are there. When the philanthropists are there, right, their sense of doing good for others is at the matter level. It's not at the spirit level. Like when a Uttama Adhikari, he tries to do something good, it's at the spirit level. He does everything in connection with Krishna. But in a philanthropist level, we see that everything is done with at the matter level. Now, this idea of oneness, that all souls are spiritual and have right to become spiritually advanced. So, when a person is a Mahabhagavat or Uttama Adhikari, he sees clearly that these are all spirit souls and they all should be spiritually equally advanced. That is basically the essence of oneness, which a Mahabhagavata or a Uttama Adhikari, from whom it is expected. We see that when Srila Prabhupada came, that time, a lot of devotees come to Krishna consciousness. It's not only been, like if Srila Prabhupada is from India and Bhagavad Gita is from Indian origin, Bhagavatam is from Indian origin, that only Indians should be there. So once what happened, our most wonderful spiritual warrior Bhakti Swami, he also joined ISKCON, and he was from African American and have a black body. So sometimes he used to get subject to the criticism. So one day Bhakti Swami came and asked Srila Prabhupada that I am being, maybe there is some kind of differentiation because I'm African American. So immediately Srila Prabhupada responded to him that people may be discriminating you based on the body, but if you are thinking that they're doing right, correct, then there is no difference between you and them. That is literally this kind of knowledge, this kind of advice basically affected Bhakti Swami Maharaj a lot. After that, he understood it. Prabhupada is telling him, instead of the body level, he should rise above the spirit level. After that, his preaching changed. He did very good book distribution. He could understand Prabhupada is saying that don't fight at the body level. In fact, go beyond the body level, transcend beyond the body level, and at the spirit level, you try to preach. So now later on, we see how the spiritual warrior became so instrumental in Prabhupada's mission. Now, if the idea of oneness is there, that yes, all are same and everything should be same. So just imagine everybody will be cooking same kind of prasadam. So in a temple setup, we need a beautiful cook, wonderful cook. We need nice garland makers. Krishna needs nice book distributors. Everything we should have varieties from everything. But instead, if everybody will be same, there will be oneness at the body level or the effort level. Then this temple won't be a temple. It will be something else. So here we see that in this particular mantra, the different categories of devotees are described, like how a Kanishta Adhikari from a neophyte stage, he transitioned to become a Madhyama Adhikari, where he sees he's from seeing the deity from the altar, he sees the deity slowly in different relations, and later on he transcends to the Uttama Adhikari, where he sees Krishna's presence everywhere, not only in the relations, not only in the altar, basically in every atom, he sees Krishna's energy. He basically sees Krishna in and out everywhere. And at that time, basically we see the spiritual oneness is there. And same, when there is a spiritual oneness, there is no hatred, no jealousy, and no this kind of, no unnecessarily this 6 anarthas are there. So then we are basically, a person is basically coming to a Uttama Adhikari stage. A devotee, all devotees should aspire slowly to come to that stage. With this, I'd like to end today's discussion. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Do pranam or worship Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. A wonderful class. Very nicely explained about the different state of consciousness, that you say, these different stages of devotees. Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. Very nicely explained. Thank you so much. Devotees, anybody has any comments, any questions? Anything you would like to add? Any reflections, any discussions? Please go ahead. This is a wonderful forum. You can ask any questions on spiritual matters. You can clear the doubts if you have anything. Ribol. Seems like everybody is completely absorbed in ecstasy and can't come out of it. Hare Krishna. Able to hear? Just try.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hari Hari, Jai. Your realizations. No comments? Okay. So thank you, dear devotees. Today is a very auspicious day as well. Anybody knows what is the significance of today?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to
Hare
Srila
Krishna,
Prabhupada. Today is Lalita Sakhi's appearance day, no Prabhuji?
Yes, wonderful. Yes, Tada Sashti is not a Sashti, the sixth day.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And
So, kindly, please give us few lines of Lalita Sakhi, please. It would be grateful for us to know about her.
beautiful, yeah. Today is You know any other name of Lalita Sakhi? Anybody knows the another name of Lalita Sakhi?
No, Prabhuji.
Lalita Sakhi's another name is called Anuradha. I heard this name, Anuradha.
Anuradha.
Yeah. What is the meaning of Anuradha?
Follower of Radha.
Yeah, one who always follows Srimati Radha. That's where he is known as Anuradha. And he is Radha, and her name is Anuradha. Very closely, and where she is the Lalita Sakhi is the very foremost associate of Srimati Radharani. Pretty much controls Radharani in every aspect of Srimati Radharani's life. Sometimes when in the dealings between Krishna and Radha, sometimes Radha cannot take some decision because of the ecstasy. So as Lalita Sakhi comes in between, Lalita Sakhi directs Srimati Radharani. Oh, don't allow near to come this debauchee, don't allow this mischievous, don't allow, you don't have any relationship with Krishna, and so many ways. So then why it is saying that? Because of Lalita wanted to increase the loving affection between both Krishna and Radha. So there are so many ways this is all happens into the very ecstatic, the Madhurya Bhav. So we may not understand that in this material mundane realm. We may not understand that. We compare everything with what we have or whatever we goes through. But that is not the fact. There is another plane. It's everything is pure Madhurya, the loving, dealings with Krishna. So there are so many wonderful pastimes. So Lalita Sakhi also very much foremost of playing the veena. So Lalita Sakhi is very much increasing that rasa. So Lalita Sakhi plays the veena and involves in so many wonderful pastimes. So anything that which wants to, Lalita Srimati Radharani wants to get it done. First and foremost person that Srimati Radharani approach is Srimati Lalita Sakhi Lalita. There's a beautiful pastimes happened in Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Dham, there is we know that the Shyamananda Pandit. How many of you heard about Shyamananda Pandit? Everybody knows who is Shyamananda Pandit? Shyamananda Pandit was originally from Orissa. And Prabhuji's Shyamananda Pandit initial name was Dukhi Krishnadas. Dukhi Krishnadas. And serving a guru. So the main service of that guru instructed to the disciple Dukhi Krishnadas was bring the water from the water and then take care of the flowers garden. So every day bringing the water and from the ocean and then on the head and pouring the water to the flowers and the gardens and the trees and the plants. Then due course of time, because of holding this pot on the head, created a wound over on the head. The worm started to ooze out from that wound. It got infected. But still, Dukhi Krishnadas didn't finish or didn't say any excuses to the spiritual master that I have this, so I cannot do this. But still, Dukhi Krishnadas was doing this service. This is a wonderful example of it. Seeing, the Guru sees this and melted the heart and instructed and mentioned to Dukhi Krishnadas, you go to Vrindavan, you see Srila Rupa Goswami and go and take shelter of Srila Rupa Goswami. You are not an ordinary person, ordinary devotee. So then Dukhi Krishnadas came to Vrindavan and met with Srila Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami assigned a service to Dukhi Krishnadas Das. Every early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, go and clean the Madhuvan. So in the Madhuvan, go there and clean it. So then the Dukhi Krishnadas took the service every day without fail, early morning, and going there and cleaning and every places. One day, Dukhi Krishnadas caught an anklet while cleaning the kunjas, cleaning this forest, and got a kunja, and it was not an ordinary one. It was not an ordinary one. So as soon as Dukhi Krishnadas took that in the hand, could realize that, and the transcendental ecstasy which developed, Dukhi Krishnadas called it this anklet. So then Dukhi Krishnadas continued his service, and meantime, Radharani realized that Radharani lost her anklet in the Vrindavan Dham. So Radharani is told to Lalita Sagi. Lalita Sagi said, we will find out. No worries. It's a very precious. It's offered by Krishna. Very precious. And then Lalita Sagi came to Vrindavan and searching for it in the form of an old lady. So that's the time Lalita Sagi saw the Dukhi Krishnadas. Then this old lady talked to Dukhi Krishnadas. I am an old lady. I came from the nearby village. My daughter-in-law lost her anklet here. Did you see it? So by seeing that demeanor of this old lady, Dukhi Krishnadas could understand that this is also not an ordinary lady. So then Dukhi Krishnadas told to Lalita Saki, yes, I do have the anklet, but I would give only to your daughter-in-law, not to anybody else. I don't know who you are, but I can understand you, but I would give only to you, only to your daughter-in-law. Can you take me over there? So Lalita Sagi became in a fix what to do. There's nothing can be done. So then had to take him to the daughter-in-law. So then immediately the old lady became the Lalita Saki, Lalita, and took Dukhi Krishnadas along with Lalita Sagi to the abode of Srimati Radharani in Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. And there is a beautiful description of the palace of Srimati Radharani. It's completely jeweled, and there in the middle, Srimati Radharani was beautifully sitting, and Lalita Sagi brought Dukhi Krishnadas to Srimati Radharani and explained all this. And Srimati Radharani told Dukhi Krishnadas, you were a Manjari. It was Kanaka Manjari. You were here and you came down to the earthly planet for a purpose. And then Dukhi Krishnadas, Kanaka Manjari said, I came back here, then why should I go back? I cannot go back. I don't want to leave you all. So then Lalita Sagi and Srimati Radharani mentioned that you have a purpose to fulfill on the earthly planet, so you have to go now. But then Dukhi Krishna said, no, I cannot simply go now. I need to worship, and I need to always, eternally, I cannot separate from you. And then this time, Srimati Radharani took the ring and drew a tilak on the forehead of Dukhi Krishnadas. So it became a permanent mark over the forehead of Dukhi Krishnadas. So the Radharani gave a deity. That's what Sri Radha Shyamasundar deity in Vrindavan, which brought Shyamananda Pandit. Then Dukhi Krishnadas later became Shyamananda Pandit. Brought from the Golok Vrindavan. That's a deity. We worship in Sri Radha Shyamasundar deity in Vrindavan. Then Dukhi Krishnadas came back and saw that, there is a permanent mark on the forehead of Dukhi Krishnadas. Rupa Goswami and Dukhi Krishnadas told everything to Rupa Goswami. Now, it was initially too difficult to, believe. So then all this exalted devotees came and they would try to see that the tilak mark on the forehead of Shyamananda Pandit and the deity. They saw that this is a permanent mark which appeared. So then everything is explained, and then, like that. So why the reason is the Sri Lalita Sakhi. It all happens very, not on the material level, it all happens on the spiritual level. Then what happened? Lalita Sakhi, the mercy of Lalita Sakhi was, presented there because of this Manjari was very, and the service which the Tukki Krishnadas was doing, sincere devotion. Who will get up in the morning, early morning, and go and clean up the place where nobody goes. And here, on the other hand, a devotee. So Srimati Lalita Sakhi is so much pleased. Lalita Sakhi is so much pleased with the Dukhi Krishnadas and took this Dukhi Krishnadas to Golok Vrindavan. So who is pleasing really? When you do the sincere service, basically we are assisting all the wonderful Vaishnavas. That means the Lalita Sakhi and Ashta Sakhis assist the Srimati Radharani. And then there are Manjaris assist the Sakhis. Then there are also, again, there are devotees who serve the Manjari. So this is the hierarchy of it. So this is the way that one who goes back to Golok Vrindavan serves the Srimati Radharani Lalita Sakhi likes that. So one who gets the mercy of Lalita Sakhi, only then we can also have the mercy of Srimati Radharani. That's the point. Okay. Thank you so much. Lalita Sakhi ki jai.
Jai.
Any other questions? There is a Lalita Ashtagam, and please read and recite on this day especially. It says that one who reads and recite definitely will attain the abode of Srimati Radharani. One can meditate upon it, relish the meaning of it, and who is really Sri Lalita Sakhi. The Lalita Sakhi's color is known as this in the Gorochana. Gorochana is a little yellowish color. The foremost Sakhi, the friend of Srimati Radharani. There are so many wonderful other pastimes, just people just wanted to give you a glimpse of it. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody would like to add? Prem Sarovar Mataji would like to add? Yeah. The other aspects of Srimati Radharani.
Very beautiful, Sir Prabhuji. So recently in our last trip to Jagannath Puri, we saw Radharani and Lalita Sakhi next to Gopinath ji in Tota Gopinath. So usually Lalita Sakhi is, as you told, it's a Gorochan complexion and fair complexion. And she is always, she offers tambulam. Her service is to, for the divine couples, she offers tambulam. And her mood is mild. And I think Sorup Damodar from our Chaturlila pastime, she carries Lalita Sakhi's mood. And her favorite instrument is Veena. Like if you go to Tota Gopinath, you will see Lalita Sakhi is holding a Veena. But in the reciprocation of mood towards Radha and Krishna, specifically Radharani is feeling separation to Krishna. So Radharani has turned black over there. So looking at Radharani and Radharani's mood towards Krishna, Lalita Sakhi, she has also, like fair complexion Lalita Sakhi, she is also appearing as, in the Radha Bha basically. She is giving darshan in the black marble form. And there also she is playing I think, same Veena, I think she is also playing over there. So that was a very beautiful deity form. When one can go to Tota Gopinath in Jagannath Puri, they can see it.
Yeah, I've been there, yes. I was there, it's very beautiful. And in fact, the Gopinath,
Yes.
Gopinath is from Vrindavan. And then in order to, when Gadadhar Pandit became old, then DT became bent down in order to give, Gadadhar Pandit to serve the deity or put the Sringar so nicely. The deity himself came down to Gadadhar Pandit.
Bending position.
Bending position. Yeah, it's so beautiful deity. I still remember, the beautiful face.
Yeah, there Radharani is holding the flute and Lalita Sakhi is holding the veena. And
Yes. Yes. So wonderful. Yep. Gopinath, this is so beautiful. Also, there is in Mayapur, it's beautiful, the face, and there are pictures out there also. Mayapur, Ashtasagis,
Yes.
Yada Madhav, and it's very unique beauty of Srimati Lalita Sakhi. Very unique beauty of Srimati Lalita Sakhi and service. And those who are not visited Mayapur, please. This is our human form of life. That's, don't miss it. Go out and see and worship and meditate and understand and the principles and tattva and all these wonderful spiritual aspects of amazing ones. Amazing. So don't miss that, Whatever, we may spend so many times for so much of other things, but never ever forget this. As a human form of life, we have this opportunity to go and visit and take darshan of Srimati Radharani, Sri Lalita Sakhi, Sri Vishaka, the Ashtasakis, Champakalada, Kundalada, Ganga Devi, Sudevi, There's so many wonderful. Yeah. The life and soul of Srimati Radharani is Lalita Sakhi. One aspect, of course, Krishna is more than that, but yeah. Yeah, amazing, wonderful. Anybody else would like to add realization, any other thoughts of Sri Lalita Sakhi or any other comments, any realization, a personal experience? Yesterday, I think Sarvani Mataji was mentioning about the dream of Krishna. It was so nice, so wonderful. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, then do Pranam Mataji.
I said Krishna as an illusion yesterday. I don't know. I made some kind of aparadh. Not sure, because today Preeti Mataji was saying about 6 aparadha we do, right? There was one illusion also. So I'm not sure, saying Krishna as illusion, did I made any aparadh? I really wanted an apology for that.
No, I don't think that.
No, Mataji, not that way.
No, not that way. Yeah, illusion means it's a different way of it's a material illusion, right? That we see everything as here in this material world is actually we think that's real. That is actually an illusion.
Okay.
But Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's remembrance, meditation, it all happens on. See, this is what is called Krishna is absolute. Any thoughts of Krishna is different than the mundane material. This is spiritual energy. As when we have the spiritual energy, then only we have all this. When you have material energy, we will not have even have thoughts of that. This is all energy, this different energies, right? So when it comes to us, like even in the mind has different stage. Mind when it comes to the spiritual, when it dominates and spiritual energy, we are really in the spiritual plane. The different stages of. So when the spiritual energy dominates, we can see we have a connection, we have union with the Krishna, our soul and the Krishna, then we'll see, so many dreams of, that's another thing. See, the dreams of Krishna and the Krishna's Srila Prabhupada Guru, it's not a mundane dream. Many times with Prem Sarovar Mataji can explain and so nicely how the pujaris in Jagannath Puri, having a dream of Jagannathji and it was become all true. So the dreams of Krishna and anything that which in relationship with the Guru, and that's not mundane actually, that's in a different realm, that which happens. There's a lot of plane actually, even our we have mind has a lot of plane also. When the spiritual energy more comes to that, then we enters there and we see all those things. And yes, it may be a momentary, then we also come back, but some pure stage, even in the dream or the sleeping stage, mind goes to that place. Mind goes to that, and then also, Krishna's arrangement and spiritual potency invokes that time. That's why Krishna is absolute. Krishna's name is absolute, same as Krishna. Krishna's form, qualities, everything is Krishna. Why he says is absolute? Because of that, nothing that we can separate from him. Even if he comes to the dream, even if we say Krishna, that means because of that potency is within us, that's why we can say Krishna. When we have the other thoughts, so when we are on the lower stages of materially completely, then what happens? That's called illusion. We think that because we are completely in the illusion stage, because we don't then see anything else. But in that's not real. Yep. No need of it is it's all wonderful realizations is
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
yeah. Anybody else? Any other realization? Any other comments, discussions? With our enthusiastic devotees, we missing Niru Mataji, Miss Medanda Prabhu, anything Suman Mataji, Satyabhama Mataji, Sudhagar Prabhu. Yeah, we also have Jagadish Simha Prabhu. Please go ahead, Prabhuji, in realizations and like to add something. Shesha Karana Prabhu, Bapaya Prabhu, Jayaprakash Prabhu, Kaniga Mataji, Devi Mataji, Devi Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So actually, the pastimes, how many times we are listening, it does not matter. Every time it gives us a new, a new essence in our life.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would love to listen all the pastimes one by one when the appearance days will come. No, so
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Mhm.
Sri Krishna is known as Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. Krishna is Krishna's name, and Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. But the ocean of bliss is every time it's ever increasing, it's never diminished. It's ever increasing.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, ever increasing.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, like yesterday also, yesterday it was Srimati Sita Thakurani's appearance day.
Appearance
No,
day.
Prabhuji?
Yes, correct. Yes,
Yes, Prabhuji.
missed that
Yes,
one.
Prabhuji. Yes.
Who is
So,
Sita Thakurani? Who is Sita Thakurani?
Advaita Acharya's concert, no? She was
Yep.
the wife of, yes, Prabhuji.
Yep.
Yes, Prabhuji. So we have gone through few paragraphs, but it will be grateful to hear from you also, like few lines if you would add on. So please.
Yeah, there is a beautiful pastime, Sita Thakurani. Sita Thakurani, the one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the, it's actually Prabhu was wanted to go to Vrindavan. Maybe Prem Sarovar Mataji also can. Mataji very nicely explained this pastime one day. And Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur somehow tricked because of Advaita Acharya is elderly, almost, I think it's 32 years older than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation, and then now once took the sannyasa initiation, then a sannyasi is not supposed to attach with the homes. And also this time, Sachi Mata became so much morose separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had the feeling of the mother because of nobody else is there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the journey to Vrindavan and going through the, the banks of this Ganga. One point of time, then there is a place called Ganga and Yamuna comes together. And then Nityananda Prabhu just took that and diverted that, those journey and showing, because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is complete in the mood of an ecstasy of seeing Krishna and seeing the water, I think that this is Yamuna. And very jubilantly coming, and then Nityananda Prabhu like that brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Advaita Acharya's home. And there, then immediately Sita Thakurani had to prepare the bhoga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also fasting for 3 days. Nityananda Prabhu also was fasting for 3 days. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Supreme Lord, and then not directly to the Sajimada's home, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the Advaita Acharya's home, because of this way Sajimada all can come and meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that was the plan. So then Advaita Acharya immediately instructed to, Sridhar Thakurani that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here, we need to offer. Advaita Acharya just mentioned to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please come, and we, will cook some little vegetables and just please honor that. But Siddha Thakurani understood the heart of Sri Advaita Acharya. So immediately, very short period of time, this is the mercy and the glory of the pure devotees, cooked so many wonderful items that we cannot even imagine, like, hills of rice cooked and very smelled ones, they smelling very fragrance. And then various kinds of, what is called the sak, various kinds of sak, dal, sweets, and it's mentioned in the Chaitanya so nicely. So very, very expertly that we cannot even imagine that how is it possible. Siddha Thakurani made in a very short time and so many varieties of, the bhoga foodstuffs. And then immediately after that, Advaita Acharya came, brought forward to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and mentioned that, please come, it's time for little sak, little vegetable is there. But what Advaita Acharya did, Advaita Acharya brought all these prasadam, like heaps of rice, and put it in front of, and then started to worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were worshipping together Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then there is beautiful pastime. So the point was that how the pure devotees execute, especially, this is all mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, but that Siddha Thakurani, how nicely took that service and 100% put the heart into it and served Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very sumptuously, with very reverential and very humbly. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased, so pleased. This is the time when Sachimada came, and Malini, Mother Malini, Srivasthakus, and the neighborhoods. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was glorifying the Siddha Thakurani. Yeah, that was few words of the Thakurani.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Sarovar, you want to add some? Jagdish Singha Prabhu, everybody is there. Go ahead. Prem Sarovar Mataji, you wanted to add?
Yeah, nothing much, Prabhuji. You covered everything. One thing I wanted to add is Sita Thakurani always has a Vatsalya prema towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like we see when Krishna is taken birth in Krishna is taken birth, and when Nanda Baba and Jasoda Rani used to do some sanskara ceremony. Like there was, I think, one gopi who used to come, and he used to advise Jasoda Mai, take care the baby Lalla like this. So similarly, Sita Thakurani, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, she also came from Santipur to Mayapur to demonstrate Sachi Mata how to take care of the baby. So so from that day, she has this Vatsalya prema towards our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally came to Jagannath Puri also, so we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita also that our Adattacharya and Sita Thakurani, every year I think some year I think I don't know about every year, they used to come and visit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, and she used to get some nice preparations out of her life.
Every year, yeah.
For Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like some specific delicacies, Bengal delicacies, which can stay longer, which will give nourishment to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they were thinking that, like she was thinking, maybe Mahaprabhu is missing. So out of this Vatsalya prema, she used to get those items. And often she used to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that please come and honor Bhoga in my house. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to appear and honor Bhoga in Sita Thakurani's house.
Yeah.
So the way the Prasadam part is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think there are two instances. It is described, the Bhoga description. I think the Bhoga description went for around 10 pages. How Sita Thakurani is cooking, the quantity, the saag variety, the fish variety. Like sometimes once in our Gaur Purnima, we try to do all these items. So they are so wonderful items, out of love. And we see how very quickly Sita Thakurani used to prepare so many items. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be going to take bath and come back. That moment, like Adattacharya will invite, come to our house along with Nityananda Prabhu and honor Prasadam. So she will cook such a huge quantity and so many varieties, so many things to learn.
Also, Advaitacharya is considered as the Sadashiv and the Vishnu, the Mahavishnu and Sadashiv, the combined form of it. So the consort, Sita Thakurani, also considered as, let's say, Sita is Lakshmi, plenary expansion of, and so it is also mentioned like that. So they are not ordinary. So always, as we know that Jagannath Puri, who cooks for the Lord? Lakshmi Devi. Who cooks for Krishna? Radharani cooks for Krishna. So like that, they are all not ordinary. They are all, the various pastimes they are manifesting to exhibit various pastimes. Just their remembrance, just the thoughts, it's all very much purifying. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay, so thank you so much, and it's so nice to discuss and meditate upon, remember this, wonderful, wonderful pastimes of the Lord in various ways. We're so fortunate that we can sit and hear and speak and incite us the devotee's mercy. Wonderful, wonderful pastimes of the Lord. So similarly, and the most merciful appearance of Srimati Radharani on this Friday. So there are so many wonderful services, as is mentioned, that one who engages in the service is not an ordinary, it's a service to the, as mentioned, to Lalita Sakhi and service to Srimati Radharani. That's where the prey, that which goes, we pray to Srimati Radharani that please engage me in your service. As we are addressing to Hare, Hare is internal potency, or instead of we are addressing Srimati Radharani directly, we are addressing the internal potency of the Lord. Basically, we are addressing to Srimati Radharani. When we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the meaning of is that we are addressing, we are crying, and we are requesting to Srimati Radharani, please engage me in your service. So we are all eternal, we are all trying to serve the devotees of the devotees of the devotees of the Lord. Why it is mentioned that? Because of that is the system. That's the way it is in Golok Vrindavan. So we serve Manjaris, we serve the assistants of Manjaris, we serve the devotees of the devotees of. And who is pleased? Radha, and Krishna is pleased. There is no service that which is less or greater, things like that. No. Any service which we do for Krishna and Srimati Radharani is the greatest of all the service. Because of nobody gets this kinds of opportunity to serve Radha and Krishna. There's beautiful pastimes and beautiful descriptions of Sri Narottam Das Thakur in the various songs explains these principles. Any service which we do for the service of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, we serve the devotees, and ultimately Krishna is so pleased, Srimati Radharani is so pleased with the humble mode of the service. Any service which we can take for Radha and Krishna, that in the Krishna's pastimes, that Lalita Sakhi just offering the tambula. There are some other, Sakhis, they were combing, dressing, moving the shoes, taking up the shoes and dusting out, ironing out. When Krishna takes bath, so likes that. Everybody is in one service or another. Even the birds, even the trees, everybody is in the service of Sri Radha and Krishna. And they are competing each other. There is a group for Krishna, there is a group for Radharani. There are other groups like Chandravali's group. What are they doing? They're competing each other to serve Krishna. This wanted. Yogamaya creates all this there. There is a group to serve Krishna like that. So in spiritual, and we should have that kind of mentality to serve maximum, the complete, with the pure heart, sincere, with high, very high quality. Not that anything which we do in the mundane world, but complete surrender, complete heart. So please join on Friday, and tomorrow there are so many services, garlands and making garlands, cleaning up and cooking. I think Prashpu is there. He's starting at 11 a.m., right, Puji?
2 o'clock, Puji.
2 o'clock, not 11, okay. 2 o'clock, okay, yeah, okay. The 2 o'clock cooking is there. So please take that opportunity. Come for various services. Have that mood of service. How Lalita Sakhi, how Vishaka Sakhi. All the Sakhis and Manjaris serve Krishna and Radha. If you are not coming to that mood, then there's a purpose of all this to bring us to that level of mood of service. Sincere, complete sincerity, complete humility. And I am serving Sri Radha and Krishna. Yeah, okay. And also please see that you can cook some bhoga for Srimati Radharani on that day. Srimati Radharani cooks for Krishna. We know that from the Raval. Srimati Radharani comes to Gokul every day. So in that case, Srimati Radharani take bath, everything first in the morning. By 7:30, Srimati Radharani comes to Gokul. And this is the time Mother Yashoda tells to Srimati Radharani, cook for Krishna. So every day Srimati Radharani cooks very, very, very new, fresh, different new items for Krishna. Also, Radharani is also known as Nitya Navina. That means ever youthful and always new. That's Radharani's nature. Always new. Where is that? Always, because in the complete immersed in the thoughts of Krishna, then everything becomes new. Srimati Radharani is also known as Nitya Navina and ever youthful and always cooks anything that Radharani doesn't cook that which is already cooked. So this is for Krishna. It's also mentioned that there was also a blessings from Durvasa Muni that if Radharani cooks, if somebody eats, then they'll be always healthy. Yashodamaya appointed, Yashodamaya requested Srimati Radharani to come and cook for Krishna, so Krishna will be always healthy. Srimati Radharani cook like that. So on this day, this is the devotees' mode. Everybody else cook for Srimati Radharani. And Radharani offers to Krishna. So please try whatever you can. We are trying to offer as maximum as 501 items. You can cook, everybody can take 5-6 items or whatever maximum you can. Various different items. You try. Basically not too much liquidy, but dry bhoga and fruit and sweets and all those things. Right? Okay. And also there is humble request. 29th is Bhadra Purnima, appearance day of Srimad Bhagavatam. So please, dear devotees, try that if you can contact somebody and to give this transcendental science, nothing that which parallel to it, compared to it. So please try and as much as you can. At least one Bhagavatam sets, please distribute by 29, and on the day of 29, it's mentioned that Srimad Bhagavatam itself, that one who gives this Srimad Bhagavatam in charity on a golden throne, no matter what, they will attain the abode of Vaikuntha, Supreme Lord. Okay, please try to do that and distribute this knowledge, this transcendental science to everybody so that everybody gets benefit. Okay, so we will conclude here. Okay, thank you so much, dear devotees. Let's pray together. Vancha kalpatarubhasya Prabha Sindhu Bhevacha Padidana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vaishnava Ki Jai. Dharaj Srimad Isopanishad Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Das Sashti Maha Maholtsava Ki Jai. Srimati Radharani Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Koti. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Mataji, thank you, Professor Or Mataji. Nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.